Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula One action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. The Hungaroring, it's like Monaco without the boats, although the boats today could come in very handy. 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right, and some very tricky corners to deal with. These rainy conditions out there aren't going to help either, so it's very likely we'll see a safety car or two during today's race. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Ayrton Senna lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, and Tsunoda, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Piastri, and Nico Hülkenberg, Albon, Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Antonelli, Bortoletto, Behrman, Liam Lawson, and Jack Doohan. Hadjar and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yes, for sure. It is never nice to be on the receiving end of that teammate battle, to be the one not winning. But for the driver who is on the upper hand, it's a real confidence boost because, as you know, the first job in Formula One is to beat your teammate. It is a team sport, but at the end of the day, that's the only driver on the grid that's got equal equipment to you. So it's the best indication of how you're doing. So for them, it's going to be a real confidence boost.
With this being a high downforce circuit, we're not going to have quite the same top speed we have at other tracks. The good news is, though, it's going to make our DRS even more effective than normal. So try to make the most of it during the race and quali if you can. might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay Ayrton, Norris behind. It is critical for our race that we keep them behind, please. Good job, nice overtake. Okay, really good. You hit that target nicely. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's keep it clean. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
And this is a win that will go down very, very well throughout the world. Ayrton Senna, victory today.
There was never a moment of doubt today. You could tell that they completely had it under control, and that is a sign of greatness.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.